Hi everybody, it's Hawk here, and I have a box from the future. And I had to go on a hell of a trip to get it, so please appreciate all this. So I'm going to unbox it, because, you know, it's what one does with boxes on the internet. You open them. Let's be very careful. There's one. There we go. Alright. Some interesting packaging. Oh, hello. It's so pretty. A thing. Another thing. I know I'm being unusually coy. A thing. Come on. You guys can probably start guessing. That's different looking. That's cool. They're different. Some more things. Which you probably can't really see. Okay, so what am I being stupidly coy about? The future, people. Okay, so this probably looks like a cosplay prop. Fair, it kind of does. This. Alright. Is the EMG-01 Beta 8-stage IGBT coil gun. I own a coil gun, people. Alright, so a little backstory here. I don't know how many of you who watch my channel also watch Forgotten Weapons, but Ian, over there, had a guy on I'm in February, from Arc Flash Labs. He covered the Anvil, the big brother to this. This is the little one that I purchased for a buttload of money. It wasn't cheap, okay? I'll put it this way. My Car 98's cheaper than this thing. By a fair amount. Now, this isn't loaded. Oh, that's nice. I can't screw putting in the mag. It only goes one way. Oh, that's nice. Look at that. Fits in neatly. This is also really front heavy. Like, ooh, these bastards just kind of hang there. I don't like that. I kind of want like a thing under this. You know, like I want like a under barrel guard. I think it has a center. Anyway, I should describe what a coil gun is for those of you that don't know. It is also called a Gauss gun. Basically, these are... Okay, this is very heavy. Okay, these are a bunch of capacitors, right? And if you look inside, you can see all the wire wrapped around the barrel. You can also see, maybe, sort of, kind of, that there's just a gap here. Right here, there's just a gap. So all that happens is you take one of these little dinguses. This is called an armature, by the way. It is literally just a chunk of metal. Like, that's all it is. I'm not going to open it, because I'm going to leave it sealed for right now. But they're really just little chunks of, like, round stock, honestly. You take they're just of an appropriate size. I can't remember what the size is offhand. I think it's 1/2 inch. So just 1/2 inch round stock and just chop off chunks. And then you can stick them in the magazine. And this is technically an open bolt design, which is actually wrong. We're just going to call it that because it's the closest approximation. Because this thing does not have a bolt. Because all these capacitors will create a magnetic field that will just basically... I'll pull the trigger, which I'm not going to do. Wow, this trigger is like nothing. I just realized that. Anyway, so I'm all high squirrel today. So what happens is these capacitors are all charged up from the battery, which is somewhere in here. I don't know if I can actually see it in here, or if it's not technically in here. It might be this thing. I don't know. I'll read the manual later. So what'll happen is you'll charge it, and it'll go basically... Doesn't literally do that. The Anvil does that. This does not. Well, the Anvil doesn't do that either. The Anvil charges. It has an actual charging cycle. This doesn't because it's got less power. because it's the little one. It's meant to fire quickly. It's fun. Kind of like an SMG, but it's not actually a gun. Haha! Sorry, it's not legally a firearm because it's not a firearm. It uses magnets. So what will happen is the capacitors will discharge and create a magnetic field. And the magnetic field will pull the magnet, or the armature forward. Basically, I have a magnet here, and then it goes forward, and then it goes away, and then this one's over here, and then it just keeps doing that. It just turns on and off. It turns on and then off real fast. And then it just drags the armature down the barrel. It does not actually make contact with the barrel, but it will just shoot it out the end. We're not breaking the sound barrier with this, guys. This is a really powerful pellet gun. Yeah, the Anvil has 75 meter per second projectile, which is a lot because it's like a 650 grain round. This is 400 and something grains, I believe. It's heavy. Okay, these are heavy. That is a very heavy round. That's heavier than my freaking 7.62 rounds. Those are 120. These are several times heavier, but they're also going really freaking slow. So it's not like it's getting a whole buttload of energy out of it. Again, though, this is not a toy. This is a plinking machine, is what I'm going to call this. This is how you treat high-powered pellet guns. You know, you don't stand on the other end of them if you decide to purchase one. But it should be really fun. I'm going to charge it up tonight. The weather's supposed to not suck tomorrow, so I'll go do that. But let's examine some of its features beyond what we've already seen of me going ooh squirrel. So you can see the capacitors down here, and I can, like, they wiggle a little, and I don't like that. I might want to 3D print some more stuff to like a handguard like right under here. Just something that like clamps over this, and then I can just rest my hand on it. Arc Flash, if you're watching, recommendation. So I don't know if there's a structural reason why you can't do that, but I would recommend something under this. These are probably very securely attached. I'm just paranoid, okay? But there's something to be said about just feeling better about it a little bit. We have a nice little Picatinny rail on top. I doubt I'm going to put anything on there. But you will also see this screen up here. There's a computer on this thing. It needs a computer in order to function. What it also does is it will tell me the speed of the projectile, because it has to do that anyway, because it has to properly discharge the capacitors. As you can see, I don't have a stock. Though it looks like there's a slot for one, which is kind of neat. Like right, you can see that right there. There's like a little slot here to like stick a stock, which would be kind of neat. Because like I said, this is really heavy. Like, unusually. Actually, I'm gonna go. I have a kitchen scale. Well, it's a baby scale. An old baby scale. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. I haven't like verified how accurate this is, but I don't need it to be 100% accurate. We just need ballpark numbers. So I'm just gonna set this on there. Yeah, that's like 4.5 pounds. This is pretty heavy for something this small, but it's very neat. Now, as I said earlier, how it doesn't have a bolt. You can kind of see all the way through here. So when I put the mag in, there we go. The round will just sit right there. There's a very, let me see if I can get it all the way in here. Maybe. There. All right, now you can see it. Okay, there's a gap there. So the mag just lines up right in there. You can barely see it. So it's just a little plastic tube, and then the armature will go down it, and then out the end of the barrel, obviously. And the nice thing is there's no chambering around, because it's just open bolt, in quotes. So all you do is load this up, shove it in there, and then it's live, and you pull it out, and nothing falls out, nothing gets loaded in anything, it just sits in here, which is very convenient. On the last point, like I said earlier, again, I am Chaotic Squirrel at the moment. It does not make contact with the barrel, so there's no rifling. I am effectively firing a smooth bore. It's just a smooth bore. It just goes out the other end. Which, And if you're thinking about these, you're probably going, oh, those are going to keyhole really bad, aren't they? They might not. I don't know. I'm going to play around with these. It's kind of what Arc Flash Labs wanted people to do with the beta rounds. Wow, that is almost a pound of metal. They wanted people to play with it and mess around and, you know, do weird, freaky stuff with it. But remember, this is a beta. This is the prototype. This is the baby. You know, the new thing. So don't think I'll be shooting through a car with this. Alright? This is the first production model type thing. We're just coming. This is not the super commando military grade stuff. This is the proof of concept type thing. Which is neat though. I mean, it feels very sturdy. I do like that. All the polymer here. Like, I know how it looks. You're looking at it going, that does not look durable. And I said the same thing when I was watching the Anvil. I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, that looks, I don't want to say chintzy, but it kind of looks like, kind of flimsy. But no, this feels, like, it feels solid. It's a little light. Like, it doesn't seem super heavy, but again, there's nothing in it. There's nothing in this. This is empty. So this just, you know, it's got some weight. The pistol grip's very nice. The trigger is quite nothing. it's I swear, just a thin piece of metal that someone just bent into be vaguely trigger shaped, which is sufficient for what it needs to do. Now, I'm not going to pull this because, again, I don't know if the batteries are actually loaded in this thing or not. I don't think it is. But don't dry fire these. There's like a heat gauge on here when this thing's on. I'll show you that when I actually get it all ready to rock and all that stuff. But this'll be fun. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but we'll come to that later. My cousin has a 3D printer, so me and him might design some stuff. I was discussing this with him on Easter, and for a mag, we were thinking of, I might be getting way ahead of myself, it might not work at all, just shooting little ball bearings that are of the appropriate size and just making a mag for it, because it's a smooth bore anyway, so why don't we just shoot a ball out of it? See what happens. Anyway, I hope you are all as excited as I am for this fantabulous thing. And hopefully the weather is nice tomorrow, and hopefully I have gotten it charged and ready to rock so I can actually go do something with it. And then we can all have a barrel of laughs with this thing. So, stay safe out there, everybody. Keep a coil gun handy.